Hi, I'm Brent Butler with Masterplans.com. Today, I'll be answering the question, what is a troubled business with regard to an EB-5 immigration visa? Now, usually I'd make a wisecrack about how a troubled business has been spending too much time in the basement contemplating mortality and other existential topics. But I really don't want to make light of a struggling business. Companies fold every day. It's the truth. And most of the time, the founder spent a lot of time and energy and resources. Thankfully, today's topic is actually a small bright spot for struggling companies, at least when an EB-5 investor gives them an influx of cash. Let's start with some background. Traditionally, investors seeking an EB-5 visa have to invest $500,000 to $1 million by either investing directly in a new company or putting those funds towards a regional center project. But there's a third option. They can invest in a troubled business. Rather than close their doors, some struggling U.S. companies take on foreign investment in order to keep operating and turn around their financial losses. This can appeal to investors if the company already has, really good name recognition, solid customer base, marketing materials, and so forth. And the appeal for the struggling company is obvious: some much needed funds that can just maybe help them turn their business around. But the foreign investor has to be very careful when choosing to invest in a troubled business rather than a regional center project or maybe a new company under direct investment. These cases are fairly uncommon and come under much higher scrutiny from USCIS, which could deny the applicant's visa if the business doesn't qualify as a troubled business. It's rare to get your EB-5 visa application approved when you're buying a troubled business, so proceed with some caution. Both anecdotally and based on reported cases, very few purchases of existing businesses have resulted in approved EB-5 petitions. That's because you have to meet USCIS's very specific requirements for a troubled business, as well as have very detailed tax returns and financial records. It may seem easier to invest in an existing business rather than starting one from scratch because it's already operational. But if you're the foreign investor, keep your end goal in mind: getting your EB-5 visa approved. Let's take a look at exactly what USCIS requires. To qualify as a troubled business, USCIS says a company must be at least 2 years old, have incurred net losses for 12 or 24 months before the priority date of the Form I-526, of course, and have lost a minimum of 20% of the company's net worth prior to the loss. If the troubled business has at least 10 qualifying employees, the applicant must preserve these jobs for at least 2 years. In other words, you can't lower the employee count below pre-investment levels. If there are fewer than 10 qualifying full-time positions, you have to create additional jobs so that there are 10 total positions saved or created. As you might expect, there are rules about the jobs you create. They can't be held by your immediate family members, nor someone with a non-immigrant status. Whether you create or preserve 10 jobs or a combination of the both, they have to be established within 2 years of when your EB-5 visa application gets approved. USCIS will verify this by looking at your employment documents and payroll records. If your business can't sustain 10 or more full-time jobs by the end of that conditional period, you'll lose your provisional green card, so make sure the jobs are sustainable, whether they're existing or new. I don't want to discourage you from investing in a troubled business, but you need to have all the facts. Troubled business applications do get approved, but these applications require accounting and financial expertise. Make sure you work with an experienced immigration attorney and accountant to get all of your paperwork in order. In other words, if you are on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you would want to use your phone a friend lifeline. Also, if you're the investor, ask yourself why you want to invest in a struggling company that could potentially go under within a few years, jeopardizing your citizenship. Of course, a new company could fail too, but a troubled business may have an unsustainable business model or maybe an outdated approach to a changing industry. Do your due diligence, know your risk tolerance, and be wary of anything that sounds too good to be true. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the market.